Hey, it's Kevin. Are you curious as to why Coconut Creek is a great place to raise a family? Well, stick around and hear the top 5 reasons to raise a family in Coconut Creek, Florida. So let's go ahead and get on it. Hi, I'm Kevin Morris. Welcome to our channel, Living in Fort Lauderdale with Kevin Seuss. We're your one-stop channel for finding everything about living, working, playing, eating, sleeping, dancing, dining, entertaining, and of course, the top 5 reasons to raise a family here in Coconut Creek. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you get a chance to see all of our videos out there. If you hit the little bell for the notification, you'll get notified every time we drop a new video, and also your friends will get notified. You know, folks, you can email us, you can text us, you can call us. We do answer the phone when you call. We are one of the few that do, okay? If you have any questions, drop them in the box below, or if you just want to skip all that hullabaloo, and you can hit a button to get us to set up a Calendly link, to get set up a Zoom call with us. We'd be happy to get with you and talk about anything you want to talk about in real estate related here in Coconut Creek, in South Fort Lauderdale, or in South Florida. We're here for you anytime, anywhere. Just go ahead and hit the button. Let us know. Drop us an email. Let us know what questions you guys may have. The number one reason folks are looking to raise a family here in Coconut Creek, it's safety. So we'll just go ahead and jump into probably the hottest topic first. Okay, it's crime. Okay, folks. Unfortunately, there's crime everywhere, okay? From small towns to big cities, and it's a primary consideration when you're thinking about relocation, whether you're moving your family, whether you're moving yourself, especially when you're moving your family, and especially if you have little ones. So, and the good news is Coconut Creek has a low crime rate. The overall crime rate in Coconut Creek is 49% lower than the national average. That's very, very significant when you consider the size of Coconut Creek, about 35,000 people. So that's very, very low. From the standpoint of crime, we look at it from a perspective of 2. There's violent and nonviolent crime, and the violent crime in Coconut Creek is 64% lower than the national average, and the nonviolent crime is 46% lower. So it's significantly lower, making it than the national average, and also in many places in Florida, making it a very, very attractive place for folks to want to raise their family. Now, and the other thing that we like about Coconut Creek, and we drive around all the places that we go to visit to do our videos on. We drive around. We want to make sure that we preview the neighborhoods for folks. We want to make sure that we're going out there and that we kind of, that we can kind of provide some feet on the street knowledge of what we're talking about, okay? One of the coolest things about Coconut Creek is that we see a lot of police cars in neighborhoods, okay? And the police cars are from Coconut Creek, but they're also from surrounding areas like Dania Beach, Pompano Beach. And so basically, if the police figure it's a good place to live, then basically you can look at it from the standpoint of it being a safe place to live also. So we do see a lot of police cars in there. We do see a lot of police cars just kind of cruising around the neighborhoods, making sure everything is good. We wave at them, they wave at us. They're very, very friendly. It's a very, very great vibe going on there between the police force and the community here in Coconut Creek. If you want to check out some of the details on it, you can go to crimemapper.com. Check out Local Observer Daily in Florida.com. They also provide some of the statistics on crime. But overall, we look at it from the standpoint of if the police are happy to live there and they live there, that genuinely gives a great indication that it's a very safe place to live. Schools, folks. Probably second only to safety, schools are a high priority and a very, very high big issue for folks who are for families that are looking to move. Whether you have elementary school age children, whether you're even preschool age children, whether you're intermediate school or middle school as they call it now, intermediate when I was a kid, not to be dating myself, but also in high school age kids. So schools are a very, very big issue here when folks are looking to move and what's going on. Okay, and the good news is that Florida itself ranks 15 out of 51 states. So Florida actually has pretty good schools, contrary to what most people think, or contrary to what the gossip, if you will, around schools. The schools over in Florida here overall they're pretty good. They're 15 out of 51 is nothing to sneeze at. So, and that's according to Wallet Hub. So you can go check that out whenever you want to. Now, the nice thing is that with Coconut Creek, okay, most of the schools in Coconut Creek, from the standpoint of great schools, relocating.org, the schools in Coconut Creek range anywhere from a 7 to a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10, which puts them in the above average to excellent category. So there are a lot of great schools, public schools in Coconut Creek. The other thing is that, you know, if public schools really aren't your jam, if you're looking for something that's a little bit more specific, maybe you have a child who's looking to get into the STEM type of a curriculum. Maybe you're looking for something that's more into the arts and the arts and crafts type of thing, more liberal arts type of thing. The great news is that Coconut Creek has a variety of school options outside that of the public schools. You have magnet schools. You have charter schools. You have private parochial schools that are up there too, and they are all very, very good. And, you know, unlike some of the other areas around there, even the private schools are reasonably priced. So definitely take a look at all of your school options. Again, if you check out greatschools.org and identify and click to get all of the options that are in there, not just the public schools, it'll give you information on all the schools that are in there: public, private, parochial, charter, magnet, everything that's in there. And in some cases, it'll give you some idea of the pricing in there too. So, you know, private schools are a little bit more expensive than public schools, but if that's what you're looking for, if that's what's needed, go ahead and take a look at that. Get some great information. So take a look. And so again, you know, Coconut Creek here has a wonderful school system. I mean, it's part of Broward County Public Schools, but it has some great schools in and of itself within the limits of Coconut Creek. So I guess probably next for the most folks, next of it is kind of the cost of living. You know, it sounds great that it's safe, and it sounds great that it has great schools, okay? But hey, you know, can I afford to live here? Okay. The good news is that the cost of living in Coconut Creek is lower than the national average, and it's lower than and it's also lower than most of the cities here in the state of Florida. Okay, so while some areas and some aspects can be a little bit higher than others on a state and federal level, the overall average of housing costs, utilities, grocery costs, transportation, healthcare, and some of the big things that go into the cost of living is lower in Coconut Creek. As a matter of fact, it's even lower than some of the surrounding communities like Coral Springs and like Deerfield Beach. So it's just kind of shoehorned in there, but it's got a very, very favorable cost of living, which is a big consideration for folks, because wherever they move to, they want to make sure that it's safe. They want to make sure that it has great schools. Okay, but they also want to make sure that it's a place that they can afford to live there, and that they're going to be able to take advantage of a lot of the opportunities and a lot of the amenities that are there. So cost of living is definitely a plus here in Coconut Creek. Very, 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 very favorable, very, very affordable. Okay, so you know, we've talked about safety, we've talked about schools, we talked about the cost of living. One of the things that folks are looking for to raise a family, whether they already have an existing family or whether they're planning a family, at least from what they're telling us when we reach out and talk to them when they call in, okay, is basically that, you know, is it a family-oriented atmosphere, okay? And I'm here to tell you that Coconut Creek, I mean, it prides itself on being family-oriented. It almost, with all of the things that are going on around in Coconut Creek, it screams family-oriented, okay? And it's, you know, there's just so much stuff that's available, so many things that you can do in around Coconut Creek. Okay, there's 18 city parks, and there are 9 greenway systems set up. So I mean, there's really truly something for just about everybody here in Coconut Creek. Okay, I mean, you know, you can start with the big ones. It's a Tradewinds Park. It's one of the largest park, if not the largest park in Broward County. It's located right here in Coconut Creek, and it basically has 2 sides. One side has Butterfly World, which we're going to talk about in a minute, because that in and of itself is worthy of a place to go and place to check out. But it has a model steam train course, and it has a model steam train that you can ride around on and stuff like that. It has an incredible stables. It has disc golf courses. It has playgrounds, volleyball courts, basketball courts, baseball fields, soccer fields, football fields. There's just a ton of things to do here in Coconut Creek. I mean, it's, like I said, it's the largest park in Broward County. Okay, and it has something for everybody. You can check out. You can go play disc golf. Okay, now folks, going back, the only time I ever played disc golf was when I was in college. Okay, and you know, unfortunately, there was a little bit of you throw the frisbee. Okay, maybe you caught it, maybe you didn't. But that's, you know, and it was fun to play even back then. But now they have it set up where people go out there, and every weekend there are tournaments going on. There are things that are happening there. Okay. The other thing is that they have, and this is something that was of real interest to some folks we just talked to. Okay. One of the other things to do in Coconut Creek within Tradewind Park is the Axe to Acres Equestrian Center. Now, folks, this isn't just a petting zoo for horses. Okay. This is a full-blown equestrian center. You can go there. You can go there to see horses. You can go there to watch events in there. You can go there to ride. Okay, it's a full-blown equestrian center. If you want to take lessons, you can go there and take lessons. And going in and seeing that, and they have all kinds of equestrian events that are going on for kids. They have it for adults. They have, I believe it's called dressage. I apologize, I'm not that well versed in equestrian lingo, but they have all kinds of things that you can do that are equestrian related. Okay, we've had a lot of folks that have asked us about it, and they were surprised at how comprehensive and how complete that equestrian center is down here in South Florida. Typically, Middle Florida is really known for horses, but the amenities and the variety of things to do down here at the equestrian center is just really kind of a cool thing to do. Okay. The other thing is that, and we talked about this in some of our videos about neighborhoods, but I mean, you got to kind of give props to a city that actually puts parks inside the neighborhoods. So you have the Winston Park Nature Center, which is located inside the Winston Park neighborhood itself. Now, that is something very cool. I mean, it's more than just a park that has amenities like, baseball fields, soccer fields, football fields, playgrounds, and stuff like that. Okay, it's really cool because it's a space-themed park. So it has everything that you're looking for, tennis, racquetball, baseball, soccer, football, and stuff like that. Okay, but it also it has like a big playground for kids that almost makes them look like they're taking off on a rocket ship, and kids just love that kind of stuff. The other thing is that it has covered picnic tables. It has a huge pavilion so that you can have parties there. And it's basically because it's even though it's located in Winston Park, because it's part of Broward County and Coconut Creek, basically anybody can go there and have events whenever they want to. And if that really isn't enough for you, there's a 1,000-foot long boardwalk that kind of takes you on a walk through the nature areas and the natural areas, so you can kind of get a feel for nature around there. And I'll tell you, taking that walk, I mean, even if you're doing it on a super hot day, when you take the walk down there and you go through the kind of the forest land and everything else, you're almost kind of going back. It's very quiet, very peaceful, and it cools down. So it's a very cool thing to experience going in and taking that walk. Suzanne and I will take that walk periodically, maybe even once or twice a month, just to kind of go up there, kind of see what's new, kind of what's going on. Winston Park is also one of our favorite neighborhoods to walk around and kind of see what's going on. Large neighborhood, but again, I mean, it's having a park inside your neighborhood is a very cool thing, and having one that is so comprehensive really makes it beneficial to look at it. And a lot of the families that we've talked to, a lot of folks that we've talked to that are thinking about bringing their families down to Coconut Creek, they really love that kind of the whole concept of that. Now, I mentioned it earlier, okay, and it's almost worthy of having its own video. In fact, we're going back and forth on whether or not we're going to do a video on that. But Butterfly World, okay, so Butterfly World is, think of it as just a giant butterfly park that's indoor and outdoor. It's one of the oldest ones in the country, and I think it's also probably one of the largest ones in the country, if not in the world. There's over 2 million butterflies in there. Okay, it was built in 1988. Okay, and I honestly think it's, from what I read going up there recently, it's still one of the largest ones in the world. Okay, there are millions and millions of butterflies, and you get a chance to not only see the butterflies as they go in a very natural environment, okay, but you get to see the evolution of the butterflies when they go from caterpillar to larva, and they basically burst out, because they're going on all the time, and it is so nice and so relaxing. You go in there and it's very peaceful, it's very serene, and they have all kinds of great things for kids, all kinds of learning things for kids going on there, all kinds of classes that are going on, all kinds of shows that are going on, and the kids are truly enthralled about that. Now, in addition to the butterflies there, they also have a very cool bug zoo, a little kind of a bug type zoo. Now, Suzanne isn't really a fan of it, but I think it's kind of neat to go in there and see all the different types of bugs that are going on and all the different things you can see around there. Some of them are indigenous to Florida and South Florida and Coconut Creek and the surrounding areas. Some of them have been brought in to kind of so you can kind of see what they look like and so you can get a kind of a flavor for it. Very, very cool place to go. Something that I would it's almost, like I said, it's almost worth coming down and taking a look at it. Just coming down to Coconut Creek, just so you can go see Butterfly World, because it's truly, there's really nothing else like it that I've ever seen, in the country, and I've also been to a number of countries around the world. I've really never seen anything like it, except for being in the wild in places. So, probably one of the other things that are, one of the other areas that bears mentioning, is basically Fern Forest Nature Center. Okay, now, what this is kind of if you think back to an area where the environment was before all of the commercialization, before all the building and everything else. That's basically Fern Forest Nature Center. There's over 30 different types of species of plants and animals that are kept there, that are kind of kept in there. Most of them are indigenous to this area. Some of them are there because they've come in and they've kind of evolved into this area. It's also considered to be one of the few designated urban wilderness areas, which kind of gives it a new little twist on things. But it's designated an urban wilderness area, okay, and it covers it's over 250, almost 250 acres, and it's basically, it contains the remains of what was known as a Cypress Creek floodway, which was a runoff area that from a number of years ago that turned into kind of a wetlands and turned into kind of a wilderness type thing. It has all kinds of plants and animal life that's there that you really don't see anywhere else in South Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, or around Coconut Creek anywhere. There are a variety of nature trails that can be, accessed. I think there's, at last count, there's 3 different trails that go through, and they're different lengths and stuff like that. On any given weekend, also during the week in the summer, you can see all kinds of things that are out there for kids, all kinds of programs going on for kids, all kinds of things, shows for kids. Folks are out there, they go out there and they do a little fishing, they do a lot of hiking and stuff like that. Truly a great place to go take your kids to if you really want to get them exposed to nature and you want to kind of get them, away from the video games, away from the TV set, and of course, away from the PlayStations and stuff like that. So definitely worth taking a look there, definitely worth checking those places out. Reason number 5, it kind of summarizes everything we've already talked about, and basically what it comes down to is it's the quality of life. Now, folks, I know quality of life can be considered to be very, very subjective and can depend upon a variety of things. To some folks, it's basically, is it a walkable area? Is it a bikeable area? And for other folks, it's basically, is everything located in in close proximity to where you can do whatever you need to do whenever you want to do in short order, very little traveling back and forth and going in here, spending a lot of time in the car. For other folks, it's basically, is it peaceful, is it quiet, is it tranquil, and they're looking for areas that, just basically, can the kids go out to play? Us parents feel like the kids are going to be safe, okay? And for some folks, it's basically, being car dependent is unacceptable, okay? And they just want to make sure the kids can go out and they can play, they can enjoy themselves going around there, okay? And taking all this stuff into account, okay? Coconut Creek, is considered to be has a great quality of life. Okay, basically, according to niche.com, which is one of the websites that we use to go back and do research on areas, when folks call us from out of town saying, hey, I've heard about Coconut Creek, or hey, I've heard about Pompano Beach, or hey, I heard about Coral Springs. Okay, what can you tell me about it? One of the things that we suggest that they do is go look at niche.com, and niche.com. If you haven't checked it out for yourself, we would encourage you to do so. Okay, it kind of frames things out for folks. Now, I'm not go out and shilling for niche.com, but according to niche.com, Coconut Creek itself has a walk score of 50, which is terrific, and a bike score of 45. And even though there isn't a whole lot of mass transit inside Coconut Creek, it has a transit score of 30. Okay, which is still pretty good. Now, one of the things that we thought was really, really neat and really, really interesting is that a recent survey of Coconut Creek residents, who is probably the best folks to be able to tell you, what they think and what they feel about the area that they live. Because if they don't like it, okay, they're going to tell you, most certainly. Like with any other review, you'll see more of what people don't like than what they do like. But in Coconut Creek, a recent survey reported that 99% of the population rating rated it as an excellent or a good place to live. 97% basically indicated that it was a great place to raise a family. That's a very, very solid recommendation for an area when you get such a cross section of folks that have 97% of them say it's a great place to raise a family. 99% of the folks of the residents surveyed said that we gave it as a quality of service in Coconut Creek as excellent. So, I mean, that's huge. So not only is it a great place to live themselves, but the services that are there to support folks in there are also excellent. Couple other things, kind of independent. Money Magazine spotlighted it as one of the best places to live in America. Okay. It actually referred to it as a 48th best small town in the United States. Okay, it's rated number 10 in Broward County as a place to live by niche.com. So folks, I mean, all these things going in there, it truly is a very nice place to live, and it's got a great quality of life. So safety, schools, cost of living, quality of life, things to do, all these things that go into help making that decision as to whether or not an area is a great place for you to live and a great place for you to raise a family. High marks for Coconut Creek for all of those. So hopefully, folks, if you found our video to be entertaining, engaging, interesting, you'll go ahead and again subscribe. Hit the button to subscribe. Go ahead and click the bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video, okay? And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to go ahead and drop questions in the comment box below. We'll be more than happy to address those. Give us a call. You can pick up the phone, give us a call. You can text us, you can DM us, you can email us, okay? As I said before, if you got burning questions or you need to make some information, you need information quickly, okay? Please feel free to just go ahead and skip all that stuff and go ahead and set up a link on our Zoom link to set up a time for us to chat. We're always here. We love to hear from folks. We love to provide information, and we'll, in full transparency, if we don't know, we'll tell you. But one thing I can also tell you is that if we don't know, we will find out, and we'll get back to you straight away on that. So until next time,